Hello, and welcome to the OriginMD channel. This video is made to show you how easy it can be to get started with Magic Duels against the AI. Using these suggestions with only the starter box, you can build up your dream collection of cards quickly. There are a few ways you can take advantage of the AI, and you will find yourself playing against it a lot when you start the game. See level 1 video for the gold farming guide and what kind of quests can be completed with the featured deck. The AI used to play cards only from the latest set and the starter box. In Aether Revolt, it plays starter, Kaladesh and Aether Revolt cards. This means you can play a lot of creatures without being afraid of too many board wipes or other problematic cards from other sets. This deck is excellent for artifacts and vehicle quests both in single player and versus. No one will see you play against the AI, so to maximize the efficiency you should reroll your hand if you have less than 2 lands, and restart the game if you have less than 5 cards after the mulligan. You should also concede if the AI has a super problematic deck for you that has been generated randomly. This way, you will farm faster and you can build your deck and hone your skills in ranked battles. Using this advice, you should win 80 to 90% of the time against the AI. The deck usually prefers as many creatures in the hand as possible and needs just 4 mana to roll out properly. In the beginning, we play out as many small creatures as possible and try to deal damage. On turn 3, ideally we get the Strider's Harness out to grant haste and buff our other creatures that enter the game next turn. Now, let's discuss each card's role in detail. You may also skip to the gameplay if you already have a good grasp of the cards used in this deck. The Thriving Turtle is an excellent 1-drop from Kaladesh that can grow to 1/4 if he gets the chance to attack. Otherwise, it can block decently and ensure we survive early aggression to realize our strategy. Welkin Turn is a 2-power flying creature that essentially has built-in evasion, making it a good 2-drop for attacking. Bronze Sable is in this deck as an extra target for Esperzoa's ability. In case the harness is not in play, it can also chump block. Esperzoa is an excellent creature that comes with the ability we'll utilize. At the beginning of the upkeep, you must return an artifact to your hand. This means that if there are no other artifacts in play, you'll have to return Esperzoa itself, so play it out wisely. Another combo for us is to play out a Harness on turn 3, on turn 4 play out Esperzoa, attach Harness for haste and hit for 5, beginning of the next turn, return Esperzoa to your hand and then repeat for 4 mana. See how it works in the gameplay. Reclamation Sage destroys an artifact or enchantment, and boy, are there just a few of them in Kaladesh and Aether Revolt. The Thriving Rhino is a decent body for its cost and can grow if attacks. The Imperial Voyager has only 2 power, making it not the best possible cards for this mana cost, but we have to take what we can from the starter box. Its upside is flying, and for some reason people target it with removal quite a bit. Strider's Harness. Once you play with this deck, you will love it. It is perhaps one of the most underrated and underutilized starter cards I know of. After turn 3, it gives your creatures of choice +1/+1 and haste. This is prime value here, and it's definitely the card that gives this 1 turn edge when you barely win against your opponent. Mobile Garrison is a vehicle that is new from Aether Revolt, and it is semi-decent and is yet to be tested in high-rank games with this deck. However, it's an excellent inclusion if you have the quests involving casting and tapping artifacts and crewing vehicles. For online play, you might want to keep less of them, but in this video you will see just how easy it will be to complete the quests. Wall Size is another trick we use to save our creatures from removal, for trample, and to take out opponent's creatures and deal damage to a player, as well as drawing an extra card. As for the mana pool, we have 9 forests, 9 islands, 2 hinterland harbors, and 4 woodland streams that come into play tapped. Now that we have discussed the deck, let's play. Let's have a look. I think we can do better than this. Even better. That's a bit too much. Let's restart this duel. Decent, but no vehicles. Let's try it again. We do have vehicles now. Let's try this kind of hand that we have right now. We can play out a bronze sable. Hopefully get one more land and play out a mobile garrison. And start doing the quest. So we actually got our third forest. This is good news for us. Let's go ahead and attack. Then let's play out the mobile garrison. The AI plays out an Aether Poisoner that has Death Touch, which is unfortunate for our vehicle. Let's go ahead and not attack this turn, because we do have a Stridus Harness that we can attach to other creatures that come into play, and I want to see his Aether Poisoner to become tapped next turn when it attacks. Also, since we're demonstrating the quest for vehicles, let's just wait for him to attack. He does attack, we're not going to block, but we are going to crew the vehicle for one counter. Our opponent has another artifact from Kaladesh that can gain flying if he pays 1 blue mana. Not too bad, but we do have a Reclamation Sage. I believe that this is prime time to use it on the Dukhara Peacock. He is also only has 1 servo. So we can activate with both of the creatures for 2 more points for the quest. Whichever one we use. I think the Reclamation Sage is not going to provide us with more value. And that means that we can use the garrison to untap and to defend. Alright, a Wildfast Monitor. For 1 red it can gain Menace. But we do get an island, which means we can cast out an Esper Zoa and attach Stridus Harness. We could also get out an Imperial Voyager, but Esper Zoa surely packs quite a bit more punch. So let's go ahead and do this. And then when our opponent attacks, we're just going to use the creatures to activate the vehicle. Alright, Barrel's Expertise. It's going to return artifacts and creatures to our hand. Before it does though, we are going to use our creatures to crew the mobile garrison. Opponent has reset the board a little bit. Now he can attack with all the creatures he has. Gets in for 4, but we are in quite a comfortable situation. Also, the AI has left the Stridus harness here, which is really good news for us. So let's see, we can cast out the mobile garrison and something like Bronze Sable. So I think this is a good choice for us, considering our need for tapping down the creatures to crew the vehicles, or just playing out artifacts if we were in a ranked game, or for tapping artifacts in the new quest. Alright, Dark Intimations, interesting. Let's sacrifice the Reclamation Sage, let's discard the Thriving Turtle. This was not a card I really expected. Alright, end of turn we can activate the garrison for an additional quest completion. We can go ahead and get our Esperzo out, attach the harness, swing with Esperzo. Alright, the AI just activates Menace for the Wildfast Monitor. However, I don't believe our opponent has enough damage to us. Now all we'll have to wait for our open and send phase, and then we can tap down, we can activate our mobile garrison. A decent card. Unfortunately, it's already a bit too late. Alright, he attacks. Let's activate the mobile garrison. One of the Wildfast monitors gains Menace, but not the second one. So let's go ahead and block it. We are down to 10 life. Let's return Esperzo to our hand, because this turn we can cast out Esperzo. We can attach the harness, and this is going to be the final swing for victory. And just before we do, we're going to activate the mobile garrison. And swing with an Esperzo for the win. Let's have a look at our hand. Let's try and get some vehicles here. This actually doesn't seem too bad, but no vehicles. Alright, let's have a look. I think we can do better than this. We only have one land here, so doesn't seem like a bad deck, like a bad hand if we have an energy quest. But let's go ahead and restart. And see if we can get some artifacts and vehicles going for the quest we need. Alright, we don't have it, but we do have some 2-drops and 3-drops, as well as a way to deal with artifacts, so let's go ahead and try and play this. Red and white from the opponent. we have one more mana source. Alright, servo schematic from the opponent has a 1/1 servo token out. However, for us, it doesn't really matter because we have a creature with flying. So let's go ahead and attack first. We get in for 2. And now we have a choice. We can either play out a Thriving Rhino or a Welcome turn. I think I'd rather prefer play out the Thriving Rhino this turn. I want to try and whittle down the creatures he has and also have a decent blocker. I don't want him to populate the board with too many creatures. Alright, so this seems to be an improvised deck. Now he has a 3/3 with menace. Play it out. And we finally get a Stridus Harness. So I think we want to just get the harness out this turn anyway. Then we can go ahead and attach it to the Rhino to buff it. And now we can attack and grow the Rhino. So it's going to become our 4/5 with the energy we have spent. Let's see if he blocks. He doesn't. So we get in for 7 this turn. Opponent gets in for 1. Also gains some life. But we do have a way to deal with him. I think we can be fine if we cast out the Welcome turn and attach the harness to it, although our opponent is at 14 life right now, so might as well play out the Reclamation Sage and get rid of the Filigree Familiar and attack with it. I think this is good enough for now. Let's go ahead and destroy the Familiar. Yes, we do want to destroy it. Really? Not joking. Let's equip the Stridus Harness. And if he blocks one of our creatures, this is completely fine with us because we will be trading. And we want to continue this aggressive stance. Alright. Opponent is down to 9. Gets in for 1 with the servo. Interesting. Now has a Shipwreck Moray. So for mana can transform it into a 2/3 or 5/1. Sorry, 4/1. So 0/5. But cannot really defend against flying, so we can probably play out another harness, but I don't really feel the need to do this. Better play out a Welcome turn and attach the harness to make it hasty. This means we will get in for 5 damage this turn, and unless our opponent has something very special, we will be able to win in the turn after this. Even if he does find a way to take care of some of our creatures, we still have a wild size that we can use. So it looks like the game is very close to being over. Gains a bit more life. Now at 6. also has an implement of improvement, so can gain even more life but requires mana for this. And it looks like this is going to be a good game anyway. We can cast out another Strider's Harness and attach it to the Welkin turn. We can go for a Wild Size. So I think I'm just going to use the Wild Size to seal the deal. No blocks, no surprises. And the Wild Size to close out the game.